Night, she said it so casually, leaning against the kitchen counter scrolling through her phone like it was nothing. If you don't like me parting with my exes, that's a you problem. Something in me didn't explode, it just went quiet. My name is Ryan, and for months I had been telling myself I was overreacting. Every late night, every message she hit, every time she laughed a little to heart when one of their names came up. I kept swallowing it, convincing myself trust men silence, but in that moment hearing her reduce everything, I felt into a me problem flit to switch. I didn't argue, I didn't raise my voice, I just looked at her and said you're right, and she smirked like she had won. Something like I had finally accepted her version of reality. What she didn't realize was that I wasn't agreeing with her. I was done fighting for a place where I clearly didn't belong that night. While she was out again, I packed my things quietly, every shirt, every memory, every piece of a life I thought we were building together. I left the key on the table, the same one she once called our future, and walked out without looking back. But the real shift didn't happen until the next morning, when I stood in front of a small empty apartment holding a new set of keys. Something about the weight of them felt different, like control, like clarity. Took a picture of the key in my hand, some light hitting it just right, and posted it with a simple caption: problem solved. My phone blew up within minutes. Messages from friends, from her, from people who didn't even know the full story. She called me over and over, at first angry, then confused, then suddenly soft, like she had just realized I wasn't coming back. She said I was being dramatic, that I could have just talked to her, but the truth is I had been talking for months. She just wasn't listening because she never thought I would actually leave, and that's the part that changed everything. The part she didn't expect, because later that day I got a message, not from her but from one of those exes. A guy I had only heard about through half-truths and jokes. He wrote just one line: you did the right thing. She's been telling everyone you're controlling, but she's the one still stuck in the past. Reading that felt like confirmation, like all the doubt I carried wasn't mine alone. It was something she had been projecting while keeping one foot in old relationships and one in ours, and suddenly everything made sense. The late nights, the secrecy, the way she always turned it back on me. It was never about trust, it was about convenience. It was the stable option, the safe place, while she chased pieces of her past, and when I stopped playing that role, the entire dynamic collapsed. Weeks later she showed up at my door unannounced, eyes red, voice shaking, say she missed me, saying she realized she was wrong, but standing there in my own space, in a place that was finally mine. I didn't feel anger or even satisfaction. I just felt free. I told her softly that sometimes solving a problem means walking away from it completely, and for the first time she had no response, no argument, no clever line, just silence as she turned and left, and I closed the door behind her, knowing that this time it wasn't temporary. It wasn't another cycle, it was over. So tell me, did I do the right thing or not?